We are looking at another percent change example. However, we'll solve this one differently. Let's read the problem first. During the last 40 years, the consumption of eggs in the United States has decreased by 35%. 40 years ago, the average consumption was 400 eggs per person per year. What is the average yearly consumption of eggs per person today? Our previous percent change problem, we used our percent change formula. In the percent change formula, we know that the percent change is equal to new minus old divided by old times 100. However, in this problem, the percent change is already given. And since we know the percent change, even though the percent is changing, we are not calculating percent change, and so we are not going to end up using our formula. We'll treat it like a traditional percent problem. So here is my percent, and I'll make it into a fraction. So 35 out of 100. The 400 eggs is the original amount or the total amount that was consumed, and we want to know the change, the 35%. So using my cross product, I have 100x is equal to 35 times 40, which is, or times 400, which is 14000. Divide by 100 on both sides. And we find that x is equal to 140. Now, this 140 does not answer the question, but it helps us get to the answer. When we go back and look, it is decreased. So that means it's going down. We found that the 35% is equivalent to 140 eggs. So we started out with a consumption of 400 eggs per person per year. It decreased by 140. And so when we do that subtraction, we get 260 eggs per person per year. We're going to take a look at this exact same problem using a slightly different strategy. If you remember back to the problem we did on percents, where our person Karen had an app that kept track of her calories, we said that her calories were 15% over the total. So we had, in that problem, taken 100 plus 15. Here, the 100%, which was represented by the 400 eggs, is decreased. So if I take 100, the total, and decrease it by 35%, I would find out that what people are eating today is 65% of what it used to be. So I can work this problem with the 65% using the subtraction to literally change the percent. So 65 is 65 out of 100. We want to know the part that they eat today based on 400 being the original amount. Again, we can solve with cross products, so 100x is equal to 26000. Divide both sides by 100. And we get the x is the 260 eggs, which is the exact same answer that we had gotten when we used the 35% and the subtraction at the end. Either way is completely fine, but since we knew the percent, we did not actually use the percent change formula.